so welcome back, or welcome to anyone who might never see me before. My name is Jan, and I'm gonna be sharing, let's say, whatever messages that came across. Hi there. So actually, this live streaming has once already been shared already later early this week on Monday or Tuesday, I can't remember, but then I just had an issue with the microphone. So it happens that I was live streaming for an hour with no voice at all, and so but the message is still very important, and I think is the thing that I want to share. And also I've been called to share this message to whoever came across this video. If you have any things that you would like to share to the community or to me, and maybe we can talk about that sometime later or even during this session, you can drop your message in the comments or in the chat box. Hello. So first of all, before we get into anything, I'm gonna be holding your space for anyone that is watching this live streaming or video, let's say. Before any of that, let's take a deep breath in. So let's close our eyes for a bit and then take a deep breath in 3 times and out. Tell yourself you're gonna be in a present moment right now. Okay. So before we start, I'm gonna be sharing a little bit about how come there's a topic that in this live streaming is about stepping into your authenticity. So the authenticities we often have this kind of like in the back of mind, like, who am I? And I know during this new moon in Scorpio, and especially we also have solar eclipse during this time periods, and the energy is going to be lingering around for a while. So Scorpio, as you know, is a sign of transformation. Hello. In transformation, I mean, for the Scorpio, they transform the pain, the traumas, and the experience that they've been through, and then they transform them to wisdom, knowledge, learning to share with the world, and to also be the light to the world. So during this season, and I myself personally have been feeling lately very pressured. Pressure in what form? You all might have been experiencing like the universe out there itself has been crushing us in this moment. Since September to October, the energy is very intense. And I want to tell you, I understand that. I understand how intense it is. So these intensities in the astrology itself, and also regarding the collective in the world, we have pandemics, and we also have like huge like financial crisis, and we also have issue around like war and things that keep like occurring, and some things are reoccurring again in the same and or even similar patterns that we have seen before. So the world itself and the collective energy of people in the world are changing. So when it comes to when it comes to the collective changing, it means that within ourself, the individual, we are also changing. It might come in a way that we not know. And sometimes, like I said before, you maybe struggle in a situation where you kind of ask yourself what what type of what type of person you are, what type of person who you are meant to be. This is a very tough question, even when people keep asking me like, what do you want to be in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, I honestly told them I don't know. It's not because I want to keep it a secret, because I don't even know. But something that I know is I kind of don't want to leave. I not that I don't like my present, but the first thing is like I kind of know that this this version of myself that I am now are not my highest, but it's where I'm meant to be. So in this space and time, I kind of want to get that approval, seek that approval. And many of us have been through those situations where life is forcing us and kind of like pushing us to get and feel the experience that we don't want to. Some of the pressure that we have been kind of like on our shoulders are not even ours. And a lot of actions and things that we do are actually not even our own decisions. So during this time period, it's a very complicated and a complex, where your emotion is gonna be like triggered. The one that you think you don't have it, the one that you think that you don't want to have it will be triggered. And it for some people it have been triggered throughout like September, October, like I say. These 2 months are intense, and those emotions we might want to keep it suppressed, but I would like to share to you all that we don't need to suppress our emotion of feeling. Those emotional feelings are coming to help guiding us to discovering who you are. And the fact that it's coming, embrace it, even though it's the good or the bad things in your perspective. All emotions are bipolar. Sorry, all emotions are non-polar. It's the human minds that subject it to either good, bad, or things. So before we get started further on this streaming, I would like to share a few cards. So let me hold on to your guys' energy for a moment. Okay, so this very first deck, actually, I just got it. It's a deck called um, The Power of Surrenders. It's a very beautiful deck, of course. It's gonna help us kind of like guiding us to know where should we surrender. Because during this time period, transformation, the word itself also says like transforming. So you all might feel like you are in a space where there's kind of like no gravities and you're like flying with no G. So it's kind of like you want to go back to Earth, but you kind of know, I don't want to go back to live in the same pattern. It's kind of state. So, but you are an infinite living, and there's so much potential within you that you can share, and you could be anything that you want to be. Is the fact that materialistic pattern, behavior, and all those belief system, frame, logic that we have been taught and we have been passed on intergenerationally. So it's within us. and we thought those identity is us. But I want to remind you all today that those identity, you might think that is you, but it's not you. So let's see, whoever energy is coming across, let's see what you guys energy that should be surrendered during this period. It's gonna get a lot harder when you resist the change, because things, life is not certain. Even life is not certain. How come all the experience, all the feelings, all the ideas, perspective, and thought can be certain? We might think it is certain, but actually it's not. Alright, so let's see what the card has in store for you all. I'm gonna be pulling 3 cards, and let's see whoever coming have to surrender to the higher self. Okay. So we have 3 cards for you here. So the first one is that is coming up first is here. Surrender to your intuition. It says, time into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowing, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Like I said earlier, the stars and the universe are on your back to help and support you. And your higher self, or whoever that you may call the spirit, they are giving you guidance here. But it depends if you're gonna see them as like a lie, or like things that you shouldn't be believing, or it might be something that your body is telling you, or somehow you have like a gut feeling telling you that you should not, or you should do something. But we are we are an animal, but animal have instinct. And when we listen to instinct, we never miss a chance to live our life fully. But we have been framed to logic, we have been framed to belief, we have been framed to follow along what society is telling us to do. So your intuition is more kind of like your sixth sense that people disregard its importance. So surrender to your intuition means actually to give back the power to yourself, like bring back the power of listening, of believing, of trusting in other more than yourself. The person who you should be listening to is always yourself. It's always going to be yourself. It's within yourself. The other people surrounding you, they are just like your attraction. You attract them into your reality, and they're just like mirroring you. But what you need to listen when you want to do or not want to do something is your gut. Sometimes you might feel like people are asking you for things, or they tell you to do things, and you don't want to do it without knowing the reason why. So sometimes you may kind of, okay, I have to do it just like anybody else says, but inside there's a little voice that's talking to you, not do it, not do it. Listen to those voices. When your environment or your hate space, actually your mental, they are talking loud, they're using logic, they're using fear, they're using pain. The softer voice is kind of like getting subsided. But if you listen to them more carefully, you go inward, you let the sound of the world go silent and you listen to what you inside have to say about what you want to do. You'll just know. And you ask less questions to others because you ask yourself first. You ask others and then you ask yourself. It means that you give away your power to others to decide what you have to do. There's no have to. There's no must to do anyway. It's what you feels like doing. But the intuition that's coming to you, it's asking you to surrender to it. Surrender to listening to what it has to say, what it has to guide you forward. So whenever your life is kind of like, don't know where to do, maybe it says for you to just like to go with it, to flow with it. Maybe not to think of it too much of the future maybe holding for you, or not to think too much about where your life is going. How about how is your career? How's your relationships with friends, spouses, boyfriend, girlfriend? Maybe it might tell you to just stay, to just quit, or to just flow. But according to your feeling, it asks for your attention, especially during this time period where it's gonna be very emotion triggering for all of us, especially for us who have like a water sign in the moon or in the sun signs. It's gonna be a very emotional period, but I would like to say that it's good. The more that you think that the environment, the life circumstances is breaking you apart, I would like to tell you all to remember one thing. You are not breaking apart. You were guided to stop and seek other path. When you hit the obstacle, think of it as a blessing and finding something else, because you might not be meant to be doing those stuff that you were obstructed. The second one would be surrender to what is. Surrender to what is. So just according to what this card have to say, surrender to what is actually, it's like going with the flow. Like I say, we might be feeling or thinking that life is taking us to the route that we find pleasant, or sometimes most of the time currently unpleasant. But I would like to tell you that the card is affirming you that whatever life is throwing at you, it's meant for you and you're going to be learning a lot. But first, in order to follow the flow of the universe, you need to surrender to also what your intuition have to say. This is very important. So the third one is surrender unhealthy relationships. Okay, so the cards say, let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. This doesn't mean only just the people in like romantic relationship. It could be all kind of relationship. It doesn't mean just like people, but it also means relationship with your work as well. It could be that, or relationship with your pets maybe. It depends on what kind of relationship that you have. Is the question that you might need to ask yourself during this time period. What kind of relationship that I would like to keep in my space? And what relationship in my current space and time that is toxic to me? And why are you holding them? Is the fact that we are holding on to toxic relationship, it's just like a punishment to ourselves, and to also like a reaffirmation to our belief system that we are not good enough to deserve a better love or friendship? Is that the fear that we have been holding on to, that is kind of like stressing the wound of not good enough? So surrender unhealthy relationship, it takes a bravery to hold on to something that you love, but it also takes great courage to leave behind and surrender to the fallout of unhealthy relationships. And you're stepping into a millimeter closer to the path that you're discovering yourself. The more and more that you become authentic and you surrender to who you are, you would find easier and easier and easier to let go, because you know what you want and need in your aura and your space at the moment. You won't ask for people to stay because you know you don't need the one that doesn't want to be, or doesn't deserve, or doesn't match with your aura in your space. And you'll find it so easy to just let go. But during this time period, it might be a little bit crunching, as I say. We are in the midst of like the new moon, and also we are planting seeds. So it's a very great thing that we ask ourselves every now and then, what is the objective, or what is the reason behind our actions, or the things that we keep in our space, our relationship, of course. So what's the reason that we keep it? Do we keep it because we love it, or we keep it because of fear, because of like the scared emotion in your body that's telling you not to let that go because of whatever reason that you have been holding things on to? Are you afraid of being abandoned? Are you afraid of getting left alone? Are you afraid of not catching up with other people's successes? That could be the reason that you hold on to things. But does that things deserve you? You have to ask that question as well. Instead of just going with whoever comes to you, ask yourself, do you want to give their energy to them? You want to give your time to them? You want to give your space to them? Or you want to reserve it for yourself and for others who come to help uplifting you up? We are all evolving in this space and time. Even though you might feel like you are not evolving and you are stagnant at the same place, there is no such thing as stagnant. We are all changing. The world's changing. So are we. So we are all evolving in a spiral effort. Sometimes you may feel like you're falling down, but actually you're going up and up and up every time. And the more that you find yourself in light, the more that you step into your authenticity, you are a slightly brighter light to the world, and it helps bringing up the collective, and you help moving and shaping the momentum of how the world's changing. It's very interesting, the fact that we all have the part of it, and we are all interconnected, directly and indirectly. We might think that our actions are not like related at all to how other people are seeing in the environment, in their life, in their circumstances. But I would like to let you know, and maybe try to think about like when you're gonna be walking to buy a coffee at a coffee shop, let's say, and you smile back at that person, the person that brew you coffee, and that person actually kind of like are having a bad day, and you kind of like giving them light. They were happy. So let's say, sorry, he was happy. So he walked out and kind of like changed the way that he react as well to the world. And the people that connect to him actually get the influences. On the other hand, let's say if you scolded him for whatever reason because you are mad, let's say he also got mad at himself and he even feel worse, he might do bad things as well to others and people get affected by it indirectly. But this is like the obvious things like action, but also your thought, your mind, your feelings, and your connection to the source or the universe are also have indirect effect on others as well. We are all energies, and the world itself is energy. So when the energy is changing, it's affecting. Right. So let's come back to the reading. So the second deck here is the As and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks. I'm not sure if any one of you have read this book of her before, but it's very great. Pretty thick, and I have never finished a book before, but I almost finished her book. But I got the deck because I really love the teaching that was put in that book. It's about how we attract things into our reality. It kind of very empowerment to think that whatever we giving back out there from our vibration, we attract those into our reality. So knowing that we have a lot of power within ourselves to create our reality. So let's see what the card has for us in this live streaming. Okay, so got two cards here. The first one is my emotions are vibrational interpreters. Not sure if you can see it. Okay. So it says your eyes, your ears, even your nose, tongue, and fingertips are translating vibrations. But your most sophisticated of vibrational interpreters are by far your emotion. By paying attention to the signals of your emotion, you can understand with absolute precision everything you are now living or have ever lived. Like the card that I said before, surrender to your intuition. Sometimes it comes in the body, sometimes it comes in emotion, and emotion and body has a very close linkage towards one another. So the emotion that comes up during this time period, it's telling you about what type of pattern, what type of belief, what type of fear that you have been holding in your body. It might not come in terms of like you are fearing this, you are afraid of this. It will come in a type of feeling. This is the part that we will observe when we be very still and present with how we feel at that moment. If you're being present instead of looking back into the past and feel yourself into the past, or go into the future or whatever unknown future, stay with the present. And this very moment, the present is trying to tell you something, is trying to teach you something, is trying to give you a wisdom of something. But first, you need to listen to it. If that at this very moment, are you feeling sad, but you kind of like bypassing it, you don't want to feel sad, so you're watching Netflix because you don't want to feel sad. You think feeling sad is bad and you want to go back to feeling happy, so you kind of streaming yourself into adrenaline. But the question is, this sad feeling will never go away. It will be within you until you see it, until you allow it to be, until you kind of like see yourself, see your little self, see your inner self, what it has to say about the feelings that you've been holding inside. In this modern world, there are a lot of distraction that we kind of like escape our feelings with other things that kind of stimulate our sensation, and we bypassing the emotion that really coming up at that moment that needs to be heard. So a part of becoming yourself, the very first one is you have to learn how to listen to yourself. Emotion is also one part of you. Don't avoid it. Face it. Even it's the one that makes you feel so scared. It's the pain that you don't want to face. Face it. Feel it. Feel that emotion. Tell yourself, I allow myself to be scared in my body. You can think of a third person. Sometimes it might be easier to visualize yourself as another person. It could be any age that you can think of. Let's say I feel sad and I feel like this emotion kind of resemble to the experience that I feel in my third grade. So I've kind of dive into that and I allow her, that third grader, to be afraid of whatever she has been facing at that moment. See her, feel her, allow her to be. Allow your emotion to be. Be with it. Be with the energy of the fear. Allow it to be in your body. And after you feel it, you see it, you will be surprised by how it turns out. It might not go away if it has been suppressed for so long, but you feel like you have lifted a heavy stone out of your chest. Because the things that we always listen to what others have to say, but we might not have might not take the time to listen to what our bodies or your body, your emotion have to say. So guys, ask yourself, what are you feeling right now? It's very important to be yourself. Understand what you're feeling at the moment is the very first baby step you can do. The second card is I must be selfish enough to align with well-being. So the cards say, if you're not selfish enough to deliberately align with the energy of your source, you have nothing to give away. Some worry that if you take too much of the pie, others will be left with nothing. Well, in reality, the pie expands in proportion to the vibrational request of all of you. The selfish card. If anyone's of you here have been asking yourself a question after the question to ask other, you have to think again about it. The card says that sometimes we think so highly of others that we give away our power to others because we kind of have been taught, especially in Asian society, or maybe, I don't know, across the globe, that could be in a tradition that we were raised. We were taught that we have to give, 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 give. Otherwise, we will be a selfish person. And who else want to be a selfish person? We all want to be loved somehow. We want to be seen as a good person. So we give away. We give away too much that our body, our mind, or our heart cannot handle it. Sometimes you might feel like a breakdown when you work too much because you don't want to feel selfish. Even when you're sick, you still go to work. Maybe you need to ask yourself a question like, is this a selfish or it's like self-loathing? You must kind of like hate yourself to some extent that you treat yourself so poorly comparing to how you treat others. So sometimes we have to prioritize. It's actually not sometimes, it's most of the time. We have to prioritize ourselves first, and we have to change the pattern in our minds that self love is not selfish. It's totally different things. It's not the same. Self love is not selfish. This is very crucial because this is another stepping stone as well to become our authentic self. We have to learn to respect ourselves and not calling that selfish, but that's self-love. Okay, that is pretty intense. Let's take a deep breath first here and grounding ourselves a bit. I need a I need a sage here to kind of ground ourselves. The message is coming quite strong. Okay. Let's continue here. So the next one that I'm gonna be pulling off is from the Reiki deck, and I think this one is like a really, let's say I wanna share something about stepping into authenticity in my version. So it's not going to be the same version for all of you, but I just want to share when I pick up this Reiki card, I feel like sharing this message to you as well. So I've been working in like online industry where I've been here for more than like 5 to 6 years, and I've been focusing on climbing the corporate ladders to like the higher level, to being more expertise, to be like professional in my career. But I find that that is like a trap where we think that we have to continue doing the thing that we are expert in. But I kind of forget to ask myself if I really like it. So the question comes back to me. I ask myself during this period, I say September, October, like, did I like it and did I want to pursue further? And then the answer came back from inside of me that I might not be interested in that. I mean, in the long run, at the present moment, I'm still in this reality okay with it. But in the future, I kind of know. So I'm also in a space where I'm floating with no G. And I don't know yet what I'm going to be. But there's a part of me that I kind of like related to. I've been studying about like self-healing, like Reiki is also one of my tools, and like oracle cards and all those astrologies and stars. I've been interested in those areas for a while, and I think they are the things that like kept me lost track of time. But the part of me that I'm so interested, that I have so much passion about, I'm so scared of sharing those aspects to others, and it kind of scared me that people will discover this part of me. While the other side of me, that in the professional career corporate ladders, I'm so proud of telling that to other people that I'm doing that, I'm achieving this and that. So I'm also step away from the light and not being my truth as well about what I'm passionate about, what I feel like doing. And during this time period, people kind of start to discover what I'm doing without I'm telling them what I'm doing or what I'm interested in. And then it's like there's no point of hiding it. So I'm just telling what I like to do. And the other side of me has been exposed to a closer circle and also some like outer circle as well. And I thought it would be scary to let the part of myself that I would like to keep private be known to other people, but actually is a relief because I've been holding the pressure to praise, to suppress myself rather than just be myself. I suppress myself. And part of my journey is doing this live streaming. I've been scared to do this live streaming. I mean, I'm really scared, but because I don't think people is gonna be watching, and also I don't want people to know that I'm doing this, and any people can come in and do and watch my live streaming, and they will be judging, and I will fail. That's a trap of mine. Core belief that I'm gonna fail, and it's not okay at all that I fail. So last month I have been feeling a push, and also my intuition say just do it. So I just click the streaming button and just go for it. And wow, I mean, it's a lot better than I imagined. I mean, in my feeling, I feel like I don't care at all if no one's watching. I mean, I feel like I wanna share. I have a message to share. And it's okay that nobody is watching right now. People is meant to be watching, or people that is attracted to the energy that I'm giving, the vibe that I'm giving. They're gonna be here, and that's okay. I tell myself, and this is just an example, but so much about me, right? So I'm gonna start going with the Reiki. Just want to give you some example of what about stepping into your authenticity. This word is pretty hard for me. Stepping into your authentic self or shying away from your authentic self. So let's say what Reiki cards had in the store for you. I'm so excited. Woo! So you got Danshinku Tatsu. So it's dancing with the dragon. So let's see the meaning of this one. Danshinku Tatsu. This card represents authority, wisdom, skill, and storms. Japanese dragon are believed to be serpent-like creatures and have the ability to alter their size at will or become invisible. This could mean the inquirer has the ability of a shaman, and he can alter his consciousness at will or throw his consciousness into another form. It is a symbol most aligned in Reiki with the attainment of the Reiki mastership. The Reiki master becomes a living master alchemist who is capable of transforming energy with the sacred power of the breath. Storming or trouble in any part of our life are a natural part of our being human. Choosing how to weather our storm is the key. If we are indeed master of ourselves, weathering storm is academic. This is exactly what the energy around this period is trying to tell us. Be like the dragon. The dragon, in the belief of the Japanese, says that it can alter the size, big or small, according to the situation. So as us. Also as life is not gonna be throwing you the same kind of experience give you joy, and also not the same kind of experience that give you pain. They're gonna come in all shape and form. You're gonna be learning how to dance in the storm, to be enjoying, to have fun in life, even when you feel like it's not according to your expectation of how's life gonna be for you. But you have the joy within it. You live in it with joy. So this card is very beautiful though, to coming serving as an affirmation to the energy around it. You know, when you are becoming yourself, there's gonna be resistance. Resistance, in my meaning, is like people around you, they are used to your old identity or even your current identity, your pattern, your belief system, because they are attracted to you by your energy field of that pattern. But when you change, when you shift, when you steps into yourself, when you listen more to yourself, when you don't ask for their approval, when you don't ask for attention, when you don't need it, when you don't care, when you don't care when they reject you, people around you, they are also energy. They're gonna feel the shift within you, and so they would react, except that they are the one that also work with the energy in a conscious way. So they're gonna react because you change and they're not used to it. It's like they are wearing a new clothes, same color, different size. They're not used to it, and they're gonna try to convince you. They're gonna try to ask you a question. Why don't you ask me? Why don't you invite me? Why don't you come with me? They're gonna ask you a question that is gonna trigger yourself as well. Your old pattern, your old wound, your old pain, your old fear of reacting like, yes, I can, stuff like that. So it's gonna be like a push and pull energy, whether you're gonna be stepping out of the old pattern that doesn't serve you anymore, or you're gonna be staying in it. But I would like to say that that could be resistant in your environment or your circles, because they are not used to the you that listen more to yourself, the you that love yourself, and the you that put yourself first. They are not used to it, so they're gonna be they're gonna be resisting to your change. But if you feel that the change is serving your purpose and is serving your real feelings, you have to go for it. You have to be with your feeling, and you need to kind of mute the sound around you that say don't change. Why not change when the better things are on the other side of the fence, right? So see, it's the bottom of the deck card. I didn't mean to pull it out. It says energy exchange. So we are all exchanging energies. Even you who listen to me now, you are exchanging energy with me. So we are all affecting energetically to the one that we are interacting directly. So when you change for the better of yourself, people might resist because they're not used to it. But if you keep being who you are, listen to your feelings, it's gonna be good for you and it's gonna be good for them. But they might not see it, and you also might not see it. It doesn't matter, because all you need to focus on is yourself. Reiki card also says, not worry about the people that might be resisting to the change within you. Worry not. You might be thinking a lot lately of about who you are gonna be, like where will you stand within your circle. But I would like to remind you that if you are changing the way you behave, the way you feel, and that changes the way you stand in the circle or in the intimate relationship, and the people resist to you and they ask you to come back to your older version, ask yourself, is it worth more for you to change back to the pattern that doesn't serve you anymore, or you would like to step out of this relationship? It comes back to this card. Or you want to step away from that toxic, unavailable people in your circle. You have a choice. The choice is yours. People say I don't have a choice. Life is giving me this and that and I don't have a choice. You are. But you give away your power. You give away your power of choosing how you want to live to other people. And you say to yourself, you don't have a choice. Of course you don't have a choice, because you give other people the power to make a choice, right? Take it back to you. Make your choice. Make your choice up to you, not up to other people. Okay. I would love to introduce my next card. I would like to also show the cover of the deck. It's very beautiful. I show this in a lot of readings so far. So it's called The Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. Very, very pretty cards here. Look at the back of the cover. It's very pretty, right? So this card is a message from the stars, and let's see what it has in store for you all. Okay. Oops. I feel like a lot of you are in a stage of confusion. A state of confusion means that you are not sure if you are doing the right thing, or you are not sure if you should be doing this at all. It's okay. There's gonna be a lot of confusion because your ego is trying to get you back to your old promised bound as other people. Your ego itself is asking for you to return to the fear. Your ego is scared to be left alone. So look into that. Okay. The card that we get here is the Sea of Mintaka. Very pretty card indeed. It says, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. You know, this means the one thing that has been around this new moon in Scorpio is the triggering of the emotion that has been suppressed. We might be feeling a lot of emotion that we don't think that we have it. But it's about the power that we hold within ourselves, that we see who we are, what we feel in all aspects, full range of the spectrum. So bringing unconsciousness to light, it means feeling your emotion that has been triggering up without suppressing it. We have been get used to suppressing our emotion when it makes us feel like that feeling is a bad thing. But this moment is coming to stressing the point that it's very crucial that we embrace, see, and hold hand and allow those feelings, those emotions to be in our body instead of suppressing it another time. It's coming up because the energy around us is helping and supporting us to feel that emotion deeply without escaping. And you see that when you embrace all those part of you that you suppressed, you get back your power. You know why you feel so powerless is because you don't fully embrace who you are just yet. And we are still learning it though. But the more bits and bits that we learn about ourselves, the part that we embraced, the one that we want to suppress, we embrace it, then we gain more power back. We gain more power back into our heart and our mind. So don't shy away. Don't shy away from who you are. You know, authenticity, in a short description, it was, let's say, this is the real you, like the authentic self. And this version, and this is the version of you that is masked or conditioned or programmed by society, parenting, and stuff. There are two identities and they are crashing because this real you are not this, and this doesn't like the real you. So separated. Two identities. For some people, they may have 4 or 5 identities. So authenticity is here. And the self-realization is to aware that you are here, not here. This is the identity that you created based on what? Fear? But this identity, if you can close the gap, bring it closer together to one. This is the realization that this is who you are. The one within yourself and the one that you project to the outer world. When is in harmony, is the actual, is the realization, it's the self-actualization. And in that, it is becoming your authentic self. So, are you wanting to have two separate identities losing the grip of your power? Or do you want to be synchronizing into one, stepping into your authenticities and getting back your power to live your life? So this is also a choice. The next card is the inner earth. The inner earth is saying you will survive this, new solutions and beginning. Oh, this is so in line with all the other cards that I've been pulling out before. So, if you remember, earlier we were talking about dragons, right? The dragon in the Japanese, in the Reiki deck, that it can alter the size and dancing in the storm. And that's going to be a new version of you as well. A new circumstances that's coming into your life to trigger you to change and shift into the new version of you that suits your future and is better for you to move forward. But before any solution or resolution, there's gonna be trigger, there's gonna be chaos, there's gonna be issue, and there's gonna be things that make you feel like, should I? But I would like to know that you will survive this if you be at peace with your inner world, the inner earth within you. If you are being honest to your heart about what you do, about what you want, you'll be going through the chaos calmly than you thought, calmer than you thought. But if you resist to the change, you will feel the struggle. Okay, so almost an hour again. I I I don't feel like I can never do like a short live streaming. I tried to do it once, but I don't feel like it. So the last deck before we closed off would be the one from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. This is my very first oracle cards that I purchased, and this has been my holy grail for ever since. Well, let's see what the cards has in store for you. Okay. The card says that it's the Queen of the Light, and the card says it's about the time for illumination, enlightenment, and celebration. It's gonna be like you are changing you are turning the page, you are changing the chapter of your life. And with the resolution that comes within being the real you, you're gonna be another light to the world. You are already a light to the world, but your light will be a lot brighter when you step closer into yourself. And you see, you have two lights in your hands here. It's the power within you when you discover the balance between the left, which could be resembled to the kind of the things that you don't like about yourself, and this part is the thing that you like about yourself. When you can hold these two in your hands, there were no darkness, there were light. Because all that you are is lovable and is enlightening. So there will be celebration coming into authenticities. But before that, there's gonna be storm. I told you there's gonna be resistance. But that's not to be scared. That is to let you know that the more resistance that you are facing in your environment, it means that you are on the right way. You are on the right path. If you keep going with no resistance from the environment, it means that you are stagnant and you might be staying the same route even though you feel a little bit like awkward. So changing is good. Feeling the resistance in your environment is good. It means you're shifting. And I would like to remind you that you are all safe, guided, protected, and loved by the collective and also by the universe. So don't be afraid to change. The only things that you should be scared of is stagnant. Okay, I say the last one, but this is actually the last one. Would be like a affirmation card before we close up our live streaming today. Okay. Every card is so in line with each other. So it says, I'm aware that I am pure consciousness. I am one with all life. I rejoice in my unlimitedness. You have so much potential within you. But the potential and the power comes when you are aware of it. Even if it's the thing that you don't like about yourself or the thing that you like about yourself. It's all the power that you hold in your hands. It depends if you would like to give it away to others or take them back to yourself and make the decision for your life. Okay, so before we close off this session, let's again take a deep breath together and then tune into ourselves and let's do it. Take a deep breath in. Long exhales out. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. Hold it. Breathe out. The last one. Take a deep breath in. 2, 1. Okay. So I hope you all have a good day, and also I would like to give your support during this transformational period, as it's very challenging. And I would like to know that you are not alone in this transformation. We all are transforming, we are all ascending, we are all evolving in this very specific space and time. It's not just for you that's been through change and struggle. We all been, and we're gonna get through it with grace and find your authentic self in the next chapter of your book. So always listen to your feeling first, prioritize yourself, and you will go with the flow of the transformational period of the collective. So thank you so much for coming, and if you have any question or things that you would like to discuss, you can leave in the chat or in the comment, and we can come back to that later. Alright, until then, see you, bye!